So my sister posted this picture on Facebook. It's a Philly cheesesteak casserole. I said, well, how was it? And she said, well, I don't know. I'm waiting for someone to make it. So here we go. With a couple little tweaks, we're going to make the cheesesteak casserole. So the first thing we need is the ingredients. 2 pounds of hamburger, onion, peppers, provolone cheese, eggs, Worcestershire, and hot sauce. Some cream, if you got it, if not, half and half, and a little bit of seasoning, salt and garlic. The first thing we're going to do is prep a couple of the vegetables. So the onions, half of them I chopped kind of coarse. I could have made them even bigger. I took them, I put them aside because I think we're going to cook them first, just to kind of give it some flavor. And the other half of the onion, we'll just chop up somewhat fine, medium chop, and those we'll put in at the appropriate time. Now the peppers we're going to chop up. I've got 2. And I always thought this was a cool way of cutting up a pepper. You can pretty well get all the pepper you need without having to dig around and get at the seeds. It works pretty good. But we're going to slice them up, and I didn't really want the long slices, could have. I kind of chopped them a bit. Well, you can see how they look here. They're okay. You can do it any way you want. I don't think it really matters. If you want to have long slices, go for it. You want to have them finely chopped, go for that too. So along with the green, we did a red. Give it a little color, I thought. Plus I wanted to make sure we had enough peppers. So it worked out to 2.5 cups. So it doesn't have to be exact. It's kind of what it worked out to. I gave it a rough measure. So we chop up all these red, and those are going to go with the green peppers because you're both going to go in at the same time. So the last thing we're going to do is garlic. So I've got 3 cloves of garlic, 1, 2, and 3, and this is a cool way of getting the skin off. Oh, you just kind of smash them with your knife, and look at how easy they peel. It's pretty wild, I thought. Anyway, that saves half the problem. So we're going to kind of mince them. So I sliced them first, then we're just going to keep chopping until we get a nice mince on them. You need a little bit of patience sometimes, especially with the garlic sticking to the knife. It's easy. So we'll do that, and we'll put that aside, and that's about the basics that we need to get ready. We'll get the frying pan warmed up on medium heat, and we're going to throw just a little bit of oil, not much, maybe a tablespoon, just so we've got something for the onions to kind of smush around in. So once that's heated up and ready to go, we drop our onions in. Now, those are the first half that I cooked, and you can see they're not super small, fine chop. But we're going to cook those around until they start softening up. They don't have to be cooked all the way through, just enough, so they've got a little brown to them, as you can see here. Once we get that done, we're going to take them off the element, put them aside, and cook our Hamburg. So I have 2 pounds of Hamburg. One was regular Hamburg, and the other one was a Hamburg pork mix. For some reason, the grocery store started selling those last 3 months, and it gives a little different taste. I'm not complaining. It works out all right. So the idea here with the Hamburg is you want to cook it until it's not quite cooked all the way through, but see how there's a little bit of red to it, but it's all nice and choppy down. That's the important thing. You want to get it so it's nice and crumbly. So once we get to that point, we're going to put in our peppers that we chopped up, our 2.5 cups. And the idea is we're going to mix these around. And we're going to let them cook for a couple minutes or so, just till they start softening just a little bit. Don't even have to be fully cooked, just enough so that they're there. We're going to need 2-3 minutes. So when that's done, we're going to add our onions. Now these are the raw ones, not the ones we had cooked, but the leftover half an onion that we had chopped earlier. So we'll incorporate that into the mix and let that cook just a little bit, not long. I mean, once you're done mixing it all up, you're likely good to go at this point. So we're going to throw our cooked onions, and that gives it kind of two different onion flavors. And once again, we're going to mix all that in, and keep in mind that the peppers are still cooking down in the hamburger juice, and so are the onions. So everything's kind of merging and combining. And of course, we want to put in that garlic that we chopped up, because you got to have garlic. Come on. So there you go, and we'll incorporate all the garlic. Looks good. While we're at it, we're going to put some seasoning salt in, which I forgot to tell you. Plus, of course, pepper, both to your own taste, however you want. You want a little bit, you want a lot. I like to at least taste it, so I'll tend to put in a little more than the little teaspoon in that. And once it's all mixed, it's time to start assembling everything. So I've got a glass baking pan. I'm going to put just a light coating on, because I wasn't sure how this was going to stick, or if it was going to stick. I didn't think it would, but I don't want to find out after. So I got myself a scoop, so that you want the least amount of water or liquid. So I figured this way I could get all the meat and veggies, get them into the pan, and most of the liquid should stay in the pan where it belongs. It worked out pretty good. So look at that. Doesn't that look nice? I mean, it looks good just like that. But the next part is we're going to take our provolone cheese slices. And the recipe said break them down into small pieces, so that's what I did. Now, there you go. It looks like a lot. Once this melted down, I probably could have doubled the recipe. Live and learn. So we need this mixture to go into our Philly cheesesteak. So we've got 4 eggs. And, watch this. So I can do it with one hand too. I used to be able to do it one in each hand, but not so much. That's a 1/4 cup of cream. I didn't have cream. I had half and half though. And a tablespoon of Worcestershire. I made it 2 just because. And a tablespoon of hot sauce. Both of which you could probably put a little more into the casserole I made, because it wasn't quite as strong as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to overpower it. It didn't. So you want to mix all this together, and just to make sure it's fully incorporated. And you can smell the hot sauce. Even that 1 tablespoon, you can really smell in the mixture. So we're done that. Now we got to pour it on our casserole as neatly and as evenly as possible. Now, I know it's not Philly cheesesteak, but an improvement I would have made, and my kid said the same thing, throw some cream and mushroom soup in it. That would have helped out. And it would have given it a little extra flavor, but it wasn't kind of in keeping with the recipe that I had. So we had to make it according to the recipe mostly. So now that that mixture's all done and ready to go, you get to cover up the pan with some tin foil. Oh, did I tell you to put the oven at 350? Yeah, you probably should have done that while we were cutting up everything. Now that this is covered, it's going to go in the oven, and it's going to go in the oven for 35 minutes. So about the 20-minute mark, I pulled it out and rotated it. And once it hit the 35, you take the lid off. Looks good. Give her another rotation and throw her back in with the tin foil off for another 10 minutes. And when you're done, there she is. Looks pretty close to the original picture. Now nothing left to do but give it a try. Ooh, look at that. And it does smell really, really good too. I guess along with the cream mushroom soup, the other change I would have made is much more cheese. You gotta have more cheese. Well, live and learn for next time, right? There you have it. Well, I learned a little bit this time, as I always do when I do these videos. So I hope you did too. And I really hope you'll stop by, watch our videos every week. And until next time, thanks for watching once again, and we'll see you. Bye.